Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown spoilers, WWE main event spoilers. But first, as always, happy birthdays this week. Being today, Buzz Sawyer, born in 1959, died on June 14th, 1950. Died on February 7th, 1992, at the age of 32 from drug overdose. Al the Doll Green, a.k.a. Alfred DiBallo, died on June 14th, 2013 at the age of 57 after a battle with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Tomorrow's birthday is Scott Norton turned another year older. He was born in 1961. Brad Armstrong, June 15th, 1962 he was born. Bailey was born in 1989. Ultimate Warrior on the 16th was born in 1959. And the Sandman on the 16th. Dark main event of the WWE SmackDown taping was advertised as Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and the Usos versus Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows in an 8-man tag match. Well, I did not find any results posted, and being that it's after midnight, have to go elsewhere. After all went off the air, Shane McMahon came out and booked the bonus dark match main event. It was advertised match of John Cena and Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. And bonus main event, World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns and John Cena defeated AJ Styles and Seth Rollins by disqualification when the club interfered for the disqualification. After the match, Reigns threw Superman punches aplenty, and Cena gave Luke Gallows an attitude adjustment, and Reigns gave Carl Anderson a spear to send the crowd home happy. Second report, following Money in the Bank go-home edition of Raw from New Orleans, John Cena and Roman Reigns teamed up to take on the team of Seth Rollins and AJ Styles in the post-show dark match. At the start of the match, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson were banned from ringside, although by the end of the match they returned and interfered anyways. In the end, Cena and Reigns won the match by disqualification. After the match officially ended, the two hit their finishers and cleared the ring to end the show. Sad news, DX theme song singer Chris Warren passed away today at the age of 49. The man behind the infamous DX Break It Down theme song from the Attitude Era passed away on Sunday at the age of 49. Warren went on to do several WWE theme songs, including Triple H's My Time theme, performed live at WrestleMania 14, and did some songs for TNA. Here, below is the following news is his obituary. Christopher P. Warren of Valley Cottage, New York, passed away suddenly on Sunday, June 12th, 2016, at the age of 49. Christopher was born in Huntington, Long Island, New York, on May 27, 1967, to Christopher J. and Barbara Warren. He was employed by Local 638 NYC as a steam fitter for many years. Music was his passion. He was very artistic and was a singer for the band Broken. Christopher is survived by his mother, Barbara Spector, his three brothers, Stephen, Lena Spector, Andrew, Jill Spector, and Danny Margaret Spector, and his sister, Laura Spector. He is also survived by many nieces and nephews and aunts and uncles and cousins. Christopher was very well liked and will be greatly missed by all that knew him. He predeceased by his father, Christopher J. Warren, and stepfather, Paul Spector. Visiting hours will be Friday, June 17th from 2 to 4 p.m. and 6 to 9 p.m. at the Joseph W. Score, FH Inc. A Mass of Christian burial will be held at 10 a.m. on Saturday, June 18th in St. Anne's Church, 16 Jefferson Avenue, Nyack, New York. Burial will be in Gate of Heaven Cemetery, Hawthorne, New York. And the following links are for DX theme breakdown, and Triple H's themes on my time. Current Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian recently appeared as guest hosts on Chris Jericho's Podcast 1 show, Talk to Jericho, and during the show, Kazarian spoke about his brief stint with WWE. Here are some highlights of what Frankie Kazarian talked about during his appearance with Daniels on Jericho's podcast. On his WWE run back in 2005 and being frustrated about not being used by the company. I signed in February 2005 and then sat at home. And then it was to a point when I was calling them, like Johnny Laurinaitis, hey, I'd love to come to work. They put me on some the first few weeks, dark matches and stuff, but I was hearing nothing, and like I was getting almost to the point where I don't want ring rust to kick in. I was just sitting at home and people were like, don't worry about it, get paid. But you couldn't tell me at the time, and still I like to work. And so I'm calling Johnny. He's like, what? Do you want to move to Atlanta, Georgia? And I'm like, no, not necessarily. And so then they sent me on to OVW for 1 week. And I did that, which was cool because I got to do Lance Storm's last week of training there. So it was cool to learn a little bit from him and pick his brain and stuff. And then they put me on the road. I started doing WWE Velocity matches, and I was there for a few months doing that. On comments on John Laurinaitis, telling him to cut his ponytail. Him refusing and eventually leaving WWE. The suggestion was to cut my hair, and at that point, I wasn't mature enough to be there. All I knew about wrestling was some Japan, TNA, and Indies. I didn't know how to treat it as a business, and that's 100% on me. They could have suggested, hey, switch your tights, and I would have done the same. It was literally like, no, I'm not doing that. You brought me in to do this, and I'm not doing that. And I have a rebellious spirit, and it has cost me jobs and stuff, but I wasn't ready. If I would have stayed, I wouldn't have lasted long anyways, because I wasn't mentally ready to treat it like a business. And here's a link of Kazarian's Velocity mat, whatever you want to call it. Amazing Red was scheduled to be a part of the WWE Cruiserweight Classic, but unfortunately, Red recently suffered a broken ankle and had to pull out of the tournament. WWE has a new poll about who will win the tag team titles at Money in the Bank. Enzo and Cass are in the lead at 37%, followed by the Club at 31%. New Day finishes out at 29%, and the Vaudevillains barely got 3%. Locally advertised dark main event from SmackDown, taping in Biloxi, Mississippi, is Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Usos versus Seth Rollins and the Club in an 8-man tag. Zack Ryder has a new shirt from WWE that has this tagline, I still woo woo woo. Well, it sounds like Neville may be returning to the ring a little sooner than originally expected. PW Insider reports that the injured WWE star is expected back in the ring by the end of next month. He was previously scheduled to return at the September 9th WWE Live event in the Philippines, but the WWE officials are hopeful that he can come back before the end of the month, being June, but he'll reportedly be in action no later than mid-July. Neville has been out on the sidelines since breaking his ankle on the March 14th episode of Raw. The accident occurred while coming off the ropes in a match against Chris Jericho and forced him to pull out of his scheduled WrestleMania debut in the Intercontinental title ladder match. Well, Seth Rollins and AJ Styles performed a previously banned move during their match at a house show in Jackson, Mississippi on Saturday night. The move took place during the main event. Match also involved Roman Reigns. You can see the video of it below. In these links below. Well, you can see in one of them the finish of the match. And the move is called the Vertebreaker, formerly of the move that Hurricane Helms used to do. And today at E3, it was announced that John Cena, Ultimate Warrior, and Sasha Banks are confirmed for WWE 2K17 as the first 3 official talent for the game. Shane Helms was instructed not to perform the move when he joined WWE in 2001 and told Wrestling Inc. previously, yeah, the move was over, but it didn't affect me because there were very few guys in WWE I could do it to, especially as a Hurricane. A lot of my feuds were with big guys and I couldn't pick them up. That came from Vince McMahon himself. I didn't try to argue my point or anything. Vince tells you to do something, you kind of just do it. It wasn't that big of a deal. I didn't need to go to Vince and have a debate about it. It wasn't a big loss to me. As Helms said, a move opened back up after WWE banned it for years. Guess who's performing it and receiving it? Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles, along with Roman Reigns in the match. And you can see more at this link, www.instagram.com/Revolver Ambrose. WWE Cruiserweight Classic participant Les Dorado worked Monday's TNA TV tapings in Orlando, but apparently under a different mask. Using the name Balam, he faced Mandrews in a match for TNA Explosion and then participated in an angle with Braxton Sutter and Rockstar Spud for a future Impact Wrestling episode. The NFL's New Orleans Saints tweeted some photos at this link, as well as a photo we'll show you back on this link, this picture here. After Luke Gallows dissed the team from Monday Night Raw at Saints, comments at WWE, tell at Luke Gallows WWE if he wants to talk trash about us, come to our facility. Some friends want to say hello. Well, one of them looks like a Triple H body with Drew Brees on the face. TNA has announced that 2016 induction into the Hall of Fame will be Gail Kim. Kim's induction will likely take place during Bound for Glory weekend later this year, just as it was last year. An official announcement will be coming soon, as it was during the TNA on-live, as it was taped, event that was happening earlier tonight. Gail will join the Dudley Boys, Sting, Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett, and Earl Hebner in the TNA Hall of Fame. Thanks to Rodney on Twitter at The Rod for the following main event spoilers from tonight's tapings in Biloxi, Mississippi. Tom Phillips of Data with a Tugger out for commentary. Becky Lynch defeated Summer Rae. The Dudleys interrupted an Apollo Crews interview backstage, but he's confident about beating one of them later. Jack Swagger defeated Victor. Apollo Crews defeated Bubba Ray Dudley. Second results, thanks to Ryan Clark. Taped on June 14, 2016. Tom Phillips of David Otunga out for commentary. Becky Lynch defeated Summer Rae. Dudley Boys interrupted an Apollo Crews interview backstage, but he's confident about beating one of them later. Jack Swagger defeated Victor. Apollo Crews defeated Bubba Ray Dudley. Well, it seems like he copied it from the Rod. First report of SmackDown, thanks to Rod on Twitter, the Rod, _Rod, for the following WWE SmackDown spoilers from tonight's tapings in Biloxi, Mississippi. Highlight reel opened up SmackDown. Chris Jericho brought out his guest, Dean Ambrose. They were interrupted by Kevin Owens, then Alberto Del Rio, then Cesaro, then finally Sami Zayn. This sets up the six-man main event. Kofi Kingston defeated Aiden English, Luke Gallows, and Big Cass in a fatal four-way match. Backstage segment with Becky Lynch, Natalya, Dana Brooke, and Charlotte, WWE champion, women's champion, to hype their tag match at Money in the Bank. Baron Corbin defeated Zack Ryder with a Dolph Ziggler on commentary. After the match, Baron stared down Ziggler at the announce table. U.S. champion Rusev defeated Kalisto. Sin Cara tried to stop a post-match beatdown, but got put in accolade. Titus O'Neil made a save and brawled with Rusev, who retreated. Backstage segment with the club and WWE Tag Team Champions, The New Day, to set up AJ Styles versus Xavier Woods. Well, this was a TNA rematch. Back when TNA, you had AJ Styles, and then you had Consequences Creed. AJ Styles defeated Xavier Woods by submission. Women's champion Charlotte defeated Natalya in a non-title. Dana Brooke and Becky had ringside scuffle before the finish of the match. They brought ladders back out and aired a Money in the Bank preview. Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn defeated Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, and Alberto Del Rio in the main event. Del Rio tagged in on Owens back, but Owens super kicked him. Owens then super kicked Jericho. Ambrose hit dirty deeds on Owens for the win. Ambrose celebrated to end SmackDown. Thanks to Wrestling Inc. for the next set of spoilers. Highlight reel opened up SmackDown. Jericho brought out his guest, Dean Ambrose. Nothing more than that. Kofi Kingston defeated Aiden English, Luke Gallows, and Big Cass in a fatal four-way. Backstage segment with Becky, Lynch, Natalya, Dana Brooke, and Women's Champion Charlotte to hype their tag match of Money in the Bank. Baron Corbin defeated Zack Ryder with Dolph Ziggler on commentary after the match. Baron Corbin stared Ziggler down at the announcer's table. The United States Champion Rusev defeated Kalisto. Sin Cara tried to stop a post-match beatdown, but got put in accolade. Titus O'Neil made a save and brawled with Rusev, who retreated. Backstage segment with the club and WWE Tag Team Champions The New Day to set up AJ Styles versus Xavier Woods for later, which was up next after a commercial break. AJ Styles defeated Xavier Woods by submission. Women's Champion Charlotte defeated Natalya in a non-title match. Dana Brooke and Becky Lynch had ringside scuffle before the finish. They brought ladders back out and they aired Money in the Bank preview. Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn defeated Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, and Alberto Del Rio in the main event. Del Rio tagged in on Owens back, but Owens super kicked him. Owens then super kicked Jericho. Ambrose hit dirty deeds on Owens for the win. Ambrose celebrated to end SmackDown. Third and final spoilers for SmackDown, as it opens up with Chris Jericho hosting the highlight reel. Jericho introduces his guest, Dean Ambrose. They get interrupted by Kevin Owens, then Alberto Del Rio, Cesaro, and then finally Sami Zayn, which set up the six-man main event for later in your main event. Kofi Kingston defeated Aiden English, Luke Gallows, and Big Cass in a fatal four-way. Charlotte was in the back with Dana Brooke talking to Becky Lynch and Natalya to hype their match for Sunday's Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Next up, we got Baron Corbin defeating Zack Ryder. Yeah. How many times is that going to happen? Dolph Ziggler was on commentary for the match. Ziggler and Corbin have a stare down after the match. Rusev defeated Kalisto. Sin Cara tried to help Kalisto after the ring bell, but got put in accolade by Rusev. Titus O'Neil made a save, and Rusev ran to the back. AJ Styles, Gallows, and Anderson are in the back, hyping AJ's match against Xavier Woods later. AJ Styles defeated Xavier Woods. AJ won by submission with the calf crusher. A little bit more detail from the other two. Charlotte defeated Natalya. This was a non-title bout. Dana Brooke and Becky Lynch got into it at ringside before the end of the match. Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn defeated Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, and Alberto Del Rio, all ladders out of ringside for this match. Very similar to Raw. Owens super kicked both of his teammates after Del Rio tagged himself in during the match. This led to Ambrose hitting dirty deeds on Owens for the win. And post a photo during this last segment of, I think it was just a girl on Twitter. I forgot who got it from. I do apologize for that. Give her credit for the picture. And it's another picture of New Day inside the ring. And that concludes my SmackDown and main event spoilers for this week. Thanks again. Peace out. See you all around. If you don't know, just call me brothers and sisters.